don't know why, but
make a nigga feel like shit.
That McDonald's was
like, damn, I should have got the nigga this burger.
Welcome to the first ever. I don't even know what we're calling this podcast, honestly. Anybody got any ideas?
I have none.
None? You don't have to be that close to it. It'll pick you up.
Oh, they pick me up?
Yeah, I got the mic turned all the way up.
Well, I would prefer to have it hear me completely.
It'll hear you completely. It's picking me up, and I'm not even talking that well.
Yeah, but you do like a whisper on there. I sound like an actual voice of a man.
You're going to sound like a fucking distorted something. You standing that close to the mic.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway. So what's the podcast about, man?
Oh, we're going to be talking about everything. It's a conversational podcast.
We only got an hour. I'm about to go home and go to sleep.
That's as long as it needs to be. I'm not trying to have it be over an hour.
Alright, well, we got to start with something because we wasted the first minute and 7 seconds.
Oh, here we go.
Come on, I got some Call of Duty ass seeking to do.
You niggas.
See,
and I'm editing it out, don't worry.
that's the problem.
Anyways.
Why are you using the N word?
Didn't you just give me something to edit it out?
You might as well start over, man. This minute and a half has been wasted.
It's a conversational podcast. It doesn't matter. We having a conversation.
I don't like this conversation.
But anyways, this podcast, like I said, is a conversational podcast. We're going to be talking about football, basketball, video games, music, like everything. These people want to talk about drinking and getting high. But
that's what we do, man.
It's the weekend.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways.
That's what the woman wants us to do, so we should do it.
You just said the Illuminati?
Yeah, you just said the Illuminati. Wow.
This come from the guy that...
You might have to edit that.
Anyways, people.
Who's that?
Anyways, we just got done listening to this track by Hobson called Ill Mind of Hobson 5. So what did you guys think about it?
Well, I liked his contacts in the video. It was pretty nice. It gave you the illusion of blindness, which I thought was pretty interesting. Also, I feel like I like the shirt.
It was all white.
Wow. T, what did you think about it?
I completely agree with everything he even said and everything. The whole song. I did a hell of a job. He's probably like one of the best MCs I've heard in a while.
Yeah.
Lyricist, actually.
How do you feel, host?
How do I feel?
Yes.
I thought it was hot. I thought it was a really nice track.
No shit's hot anymore.
You know what? Who cares? It's my podcast.
Paris Hilton? What's hot? The fuck?
It was a nice track. How about that one? All right.
That's good.
Nice. What,
you know.
Caucasian now? Fucking Caucasian over here.
Anyways, I think, the subject matter.
Rub the chair like look at him rub his chin. Look at him rub it. All that taco meat.
The fuck, you plotting on some shit? That should be the first thing pop out your mouth every time you do this.
Anyways, like I was saying, I think the subject matter he touched on was a good subject.
Professional.
Whatever. Subject matter that he touched on was
it was, man.
It was touching.
A lot of people don't want to hear it, you know?
They're not.
But he spoke the truth.
He spoke the truth.
There's nothing. He didn't lie about anything. And try to what's the word I'm looking for? Not illuminate, but he didn't try to glamorize lifestyles that a lot of people rap about.
Because half of the lifestyles don't exist.
Exactly.
Out of half of the people who say, especially rappers, out of half the people who talk about the shit that they got, they ain't even got it. Hell, just like there's a couple of singers out there They talk about baby this, and they're gayer than shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's how the world works.
Actors included.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't really care. You know what I mean? You can be in a scene and be a gay dude and kiss a woman, and that's not really the issue because that's what you're supposed to be doing. But in music,
you don't kiss another man on stage.
Exactly. It's supposed to be a portrayal of who you are. You know what I mean? I don't think that Denzel is really a detective out in Los Angeles getting shot in the ass. You know what I mean? Like, he's an actor.
But at the same time, when it get on this gay subject, the world's not ready to have gay artists out there.
Whatever, dude.
Elton
John's gay.
Yeah, but Elton John doesn't make like rap and hip hop and R&B, and plus he's a white guy. He can get away with it. Name a gay singer that's come out of the closet.
Elton John.
He's black. I mean, he's white. I'm talking about a black
you didn't say
singer.
Black. You said
name a black singer who's come out of the closet.
That's came out?
Yeah, who's come out the closet and said, I'm gay. I'm here, I'm queer. No one.
Ooh, okay.
Because black culture will turn on them just like that.
Okay.
They wouldn't sell another record.
Well, no, not necessarily, because half of the people that buy the shit is white anyway. So what's the problem? You think black people are buying your CDs?
He has a point.
Name a black person you know that bought a CD in like the past 10 years. That bought a download. Okay, you, one person. I didn't even know that until you raised your hand. I thought you was getting like every other black person. Bootleg. Yeah, I said it on the podcast.
No.
Bootleg.
No, unlike a lot of people, I like to support my favorite artists. All right.
Well, like a lot of people in my instance, them motherfuckers got way too much money to begin with. So, fuck it. And I'm not supporting the artist until his third CD anyway. I'm supporting the record company. So,
unless like me, I buy strange music albums, which supports the artist.
They do it for the artist. But I'm gonna tell you just like this. Until one of them motherfuckers walk up to me and sell me a CD, I'm not buying a CD from none of them motherfuckers. Period. You can get mad if you want to, but you're gonna have to take my computer from me because I'm downloading all your shit. And if I don't like it, I'm still talking shit. I'm gonna be pissed because you got all that 5 seconds of data that you wasted on my fucking computer downloading. I'm gonna be heated. And I'm gonna say something to you in concert that I got from somebody else. I'm not paying for your tickets either.
Getting on here.
Anyways, we're 8 minutes into this damn podcast, and I forgot to introduce people. We got.
That's just rude.
Yeah, I know.
You're a terrible host.
I know. Sue me.
I don't think I want to come back.
At all. He lives here, so I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna just stay away from this room entirely.
I think I should.
Yeah.
Anyways, the one man.
This is bullshit.
Terrence Bryant. Yeah,
I'm a government man.
You keep talking shit. I'll give him your middle name too, and your social security number.
Not the Q word. Not the Q word. Oh, don't give him the Q word.
We got LaDon.
LaDon.
Ain't that about a bitch? He get it. Okay.
You should be a rapper.
And my name is Justin Mitchell. Just to make this faggot happy. I'm sorry, I'm gonna edit that one out too.
Man, fuck all that.
Fucking bitch.
You know, that's a subject. That's a subject we can talk about. Here's two different things between faggot and gay. Faggot and homosexual. There's two. The faggot is just, it's a word. Homosexual is a noun. You know what I mean? It's a person or a thing. And I say thing because animals can be gay too. I've seen gay animals. But it's just a noun. You know what I mean? That if somebody calls you a gay in a derogatory way, then yeah, I can understand you get mad. But I can say faggot, and it ain't got shit to do with being gay. Hell, a couple 20 some thousand miles across the fucking Atlantic Ocean, a fag is a cigarette. Hell, 200 years ago, a fag was the hinge on a window. So I mean, what the fuck?
And you know what? I feel everything you're saying, but at the same time, you got these people out here who want to be politically correct about everything, and you say terms like that, and everybody's up in the uproar. You know.
The world's going to hell anyway, so might as well everybody just go ahead and shout what you mean. You know what I mean?
Well, another news topic. Did you hear about this one? A guy, the guy who owns Chick-fil-A, is a chicken restaurant, fast food chicken joint. Came out publicly and said he doesn't like gay people eating at his restaurant. You know, this is old. This is about like 2-3 weeks old, though. But
gay people just need to unite like black people. Black people been boycotting Tommy Hilfiger, and we've been boycotting Chris Style and all type of other shit. Not saying that the industry's gonna go under because black people don't buy this shit, just like how Chick-fil-A can go under because gay people don't buy it. I mean,
you didn't hear about that?
Stop trying to. Stop trying to, be so politically correct. Just say fuck people from time to time. That's what I don't get. Just have the GLAD. I ain't got a lighter. Have a GLAD organization. Just not fuck with them. Have it be like Peter. You know what I mean? Throw, I don't know, a rainbow color over the guy or something. Just all type of colors of paint.
Well, Jon Stewart on his show came out and said, pretty much that they shouldn't protest them, like form a group and protest. What they should do is take a day and just have a bunch of gay people just go in their nearest Chick-fil-A and sit down and do gay shit. Eat the food. And the guy who owns Chick-fil-A, the company,
gay manner,
said that
if they sell corn dogs, that'd be terrific.
He doesn't like gay people eating at his restaurant.
What type of bullshit is that?
I would not give two shits.
Yeah, you know what? At my restaurant, that's one thing that we.
I felt like that too.
Hold on.
As long as you're not trying to rob me.
I'm gonna say this right here and right now. We as poor people, we need to start backing up other poor people. There are millions of Chick-fil-A's out there, and we need to just replace this shit. Because if you are making so much money that you don't want a certain type of person to spend their money at your establishment, there's something wrong with you.
Yep.
You're making too much money. If you can say that I don't want a black person to buy my clothes, or I don't want a gay person to eat my chicken sandwich, or I don't want even I don't want a white person to eat at a soul food restaurant. If you can,
Popeyes.
Yeah, exactly. Like a white person can't eat at Popeyes. What kind of bullshit is that? Like if you can discriminate on your customers, then I feel like you should retire. You've made enough money because you can be selective now. You know what I mean? You should make high end chicken. You know what I mean? Your chicken fillets should be like $800 a pop. It should be like De La Ala chicken or some shit. You know what I mean? Like what type of bullshit is that? How you gonna tell us? You know what I mean? I hate that shit. You hear about Tommy Hilfiger back in the day?
Yeah.
Talking about he only makes his clothes or he didn't intend to make his clothes for black people. They just wear them. Yep. Motherfucker, you made clothes for people.
Period.
But I guess in his world, black people ain't people.
Oh.
That shit is hilarious to me. They try to basically just destroy our history. You know what I mean? In school, you hear about everybody's history except for black history.
Speaking of that,
you hear about how Australia was created. You hear about all the South American, or not all. You hear about some of the South American history.
Like 1 month, and they only spend like 2-3 weeks on it.
But think about it though. Out of all black history, all of that shit that happened in America. It ain't African history. It ain't true black history.
See, now I have it where got a person where I can get a little movie. It's called Hidden Colors, and it's a good. I've taken a look at it. It's a pretty good movie to watch.
What's it about?
It's about African American culture and how far back we date to a lot. We link to a lot of different cultures, a lot of beginnings.
We are the beginning, man.
We exactly.
If you know what you are looking at, if you read it properly, and if you go through all the channels, you'll find out that the Garden of Eden is actually in Ethiopia, which is Africa. That's the cradle of civilization. That's what eats white people up, is that they hate us so much, and then they found out we are black. We're just a different type of black. You know what I mean?
We once pretty much ruled the world.
We still do. We're so fucking divided, and that's why white people put out all this bullshit about what Hopkins was talking about how you ain't shit unless you got big rims and bad bitches. You know what I mean? You ain't nothing unless you have those particular things, and even when you get those particular things, you still ain't shit. Yep. It's basically to keep our minds busy so that they can do what they want to do. Because if we actually stopped and worked as a unit, we don't even have to like each other as individuals, but as a unit, if we work together and move forward, black people will take over the planet. Period. We control so much when it comes to almost everything. I mean, just think about it like this. Most of the scientific revolution inventions were invented by black people. And they were invented by black people after slavery, when they were killing off all the so-called smart slaves. It was killing off all the so-called smart slaves. And we still was inventing shit that motherfuckers would never even think of. Electricity. A black man, we didn't invent electricity, but the light bulb, we harnessed electricity to invent the light bulb, but black people couldn't have patents in which they would be killed. Hell, for simply learning how to, shit is fucking ridiculous. The air conditioner. We invented that. And it don't sound like hell. The refrigerator. We invented that. A black man. Now that is one of the most amazing inventions in the world. If anybody knows anything about friction, you know that if you rotate, vibrate, or give any type of friction to a metal object, it's going to heat up. Anybody knows that. A black man figured out how to do that shit and make it cool down to the point where it gets ice cold, turns into ice. That's how a refrigerator works. That's how when you hear that in the back, that's that shit rotating, vibrating, turning cold in the air, or then a fan pushes that shit out. A black man invented that shit.
That's interesting.
But they don't tell us shit like that. You know what I mean? We're idiots. We're stupid. All we want is this, that, and the other. Which the whole thing about it, when it comes to the race shit, is that they was putting us down with slavery, holding us down, keeping us down. It was the law. As soon as we got out of slavery, they switched the shit to the Jim Crow. We're supposed to be separate but equal, but yet if you look at a white woman, we can lynch you, and we can rape your wife, and there ain't shit you can say about it. They would, deprave us like that. Then when we got those laws, they basically try to figure out another way to hold us down. First thing that they can think of, drugs. All right, well let's pop out heroin. Let's put that on the blacks and see how they deal with that. And heroin became too much of an issue. So what's the next thing that they could do? Okay, well, since white people are using heroin too, let's switch it over to cocaine. They realize that cocaine is too expensive of a drug. On top of that, more white people was getting addicted to cocaine than black people. So they came out with crack. Okay, it's cheap, affordable, you know what I mean? And it provides a lot of income. The high is incredibly fast, so people's gonna want it, constantly. So let's put this on there and basically get everybody's parents addicted to the drug. And then it just so happened, I should say, that the violence started popping out with the drugs, and that was a bonus. Okay, well, let's glorify the murder and the violence so that they kill each other off faster. Either they kill themselves off literally, or they kill themselves off physically with drugs and all type of other shit like that. It's basically a big ass ploy to keep us separated. If black people, from across the world and Africans all mixed together. Hell, we went back to Africa, mixed together. Africa is the richest country in the world. They have gold, they have diamonds, they have oil. And yet they're the poorest country in the world. Why? Because they don't stick together. Each individual black person's trying to get paid. And all the white people are basically raping the country. The entire continent. Raping it. Because black people don't stick together. Everybody's trying to be top dog. And when everybody else have realized, as far as culture, white people, Asian people, Mexicans, Native Americans, all of them, even us back in the day, understood that there needs to be, if not one, a couple of people need to lead, and everybody else needs to follow in their own way. But everybody's trying to be a leader. You can't have 50 leaders. I mean, you can, but not over a small area. Yeah. You try to have, think about it. How is McDonald's going to work with 12 managers? You know what I mean? Not everybody can be a manager. Yeah. And that's the biggest issue. That's why niggas don't want to work at McDonald's, because they want to be the manager. You can't be the manager. You've only been working here for a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? Flip some burgers. Toss some fries. Take an order or two. You know what I mean? Not everybody can be the manager. Hopefully, if you work hard enough, you can be. But everybody always trying to get the easy way. This gun makes me the manager, is how motherfuckers feel. I have power with this gun. And what motherfuckers don't know is that power is put in your hands for a reason, so that you can use that power and have your freedom taken from you. Jail ain't nothing but a big ass company. It's the cheapest labor on the planet. I swear to you, it's the cheapest labor on the planet.
I've always said it. That's all just, it's a big political thing.
Yep.
Granted, jails are needed. There are. Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
Certain people should be locked up.
Exactly. Certain people are supposed. The jail is there for a reason.
You want to lock somebody up over a traffic violation.
Exactly.
There's a difference between locking away someone who just went out and murdered somebody, and locking up someone who fucking failed to put on his turning signal at a stoplight.
Yeah, they'll lock you up just as quick, treat you just as bad.
Yep.
And there ain't shit that you can do or say about it. There ain't shit you can do, because regardless of what they say to you, is guilty until proven innocent. Otherwise,
That's
you would never.
Exactly the point that I be trying to make to people.
Otherwise, you wouldn't go to jail. You would get your court date, and you would have to show up.
Go home.
Exactly. They wouldn't
what
arrest
is it?
you.
How they do it? They arrest you.
Exactly.
They charge you.
Exactly.
They They book you. They put you in jail till you get a court date. Then it's well, do you have enough money to bond yourself out?
Exactly.
If you don't have that, then they put you in jail again until your next court date.
Exactly.
Honestly, right there, that's guilty. In my case, you putting me in here with a bunch of guilty motherfuckers. You saying pretty much I'm guilty. I have to prove my innocence.
The thing that makes it guilty is the fact that if you spend, let's say you're in a murder case. Murder case could take from 6 months to 3 years to go to court. Now, the whole entire time you're going to spend that time in jail. Once you get out, they're going to be like, all right, sorry, made the wrong choice. That's it.
Yep. That's all they do.
No payback, no
time off or money given to you for missing days of work.
Exactly.
You probably lost your job.
No, you did lose your job.
Yeah.
Especially if you live in a small town, because everybody know that you in jail for murder. So whether you killed the person or not, you're gonna be looked at as a murderer. Yep. So I mean, and that's all they say is, made a mistake. Sorry about that.
Well, I'm glad you brought up jail, because that leads me into our next topic. Chad Johnson in jail. Well, he just got out. He went to jail for a domestic dispute with his wife. If I recall correctly, she found a receipt. Either he found a receipt or she found a receipt in the car for condoms. And started an argument, and she says that he headbutted her. She runs to the neighbors, asks for help. They call the cops. Chad Johnson gets arrested, goes to jail, gets out of jail, and gets cut from the Dolphins. And if that's not one hell of a way to get fired from your job, I don't know what it is. Nigga, another thing. Guy doesn't even get the guilty, not considered guilty. You know, there hasn't been a court date. Nothing. But he goes to jail anyway. Spends like a night or two in jail. Gets out. And gets cut. And then the coach tries to cover his tracks by saying, oh, the fact that he got arrested was not the reason why they cut him. The reason why they cut him was because of performance on the field. Which, if anyone knows, this is training, this is, practice and preseason. Who gives a fuck? It wasn't like it was week 2 or 3 in the regular season and the guy done dropped like 5 passes. It's Chad Johnson. He's not like some rookie coming in or some guy that they brung off the streets to try to fill
I don't give a
position.
damn. When it comes to Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco, T.O., there's a couple motherfuckers out there. I just don't care. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. There's certain people that if you are making that much money, there should be certain things in your life that should be automatic. Now, I'm not saying that him in this particular situation he fucked up, but
he's never been in trouble before.
I mean, but
this is the first case that he's ever gotten into any trouble off the field. Normally, it's his antics on the field, like him doing stupid shit like dancing in the end zone or some shit like that puts him in the news.
Regardless, you are nowhere near the same receiver that you were. You're basically just a distraction on the field. Like
he caught like I can't remember the exact number of passes, but he had like over 1,000 something yards catching and like 15 touchdowns just 2 seasons ago. Not last season, but the season before. The season last season he went to the Patriots and their favorite receiver there is Wes Welker. So I'm not. In my own opinion, I would have gave him at least till week 2, 3 in the season. Then cut him. I mean, you still got to pay the guy for the preseason and training camp.
He's just a big ass waste of time to me. Call me old fashioned, but if you are claiming to be one of the greatest and you aren't even like top 10 as far as receivers, hell, even in the year he made all them catches, he still wasn't top 10. Hell, and he's like the top receiver on his team, so you should at least be top 10 if you're the best receiver on your team. Like that, I mean, come on, dog. Really?
Yeah, but then you gotta also look at the quarterback.
And you gotta look at a lot of things. It's a team sport.
Their quarterback wasn't that great. You see how he's been performing in Oakland. Not very good. Their offensive line wasn't that great. The only thing they really had going for them was, their defense. And their defense wasn't that hot. So
this was the Patriots last year, though. Obviously, if Bill Belichick don't see nothing, then I don't know what to tell you.
Bill Belichick he cut Moss.
He cut Moss because Moss is a problem. Don't get me wrong, I like Moss. When it comes to talent, he's still probably, top 15 receivers in the league right now. But he's a problem. If I'm paying you millions of dollars to catch the ball and you don't run out there and catch it, you want to half-ass on plays, then what are you doing? Don't get me wrong, I'm the biggest Moss fan, but at the same time, nigga, you got to earn that paycheck.
But he was. They went, 16-0 with Moss?
Come on, dog.
Made it to the Super Bowl.
Come on, dog. That's a team.
Should have won the Super Bowl, but Moss caught the most passes.
That's a team, dog.
Moss caught the most passes.
I don't give a fuck.
Brady
he could be the best receiver in the history of the league.
The way to look at how good Moss benefited that team is look at Brady since Moss has left. He hasn't had a season as good as when Moss was there. He has yet to get back to that. Moss made Brady better.
Even on the Patriots, though, when it came to routes that he knew he wasn't going to get the ball, he wouldn't run the 4 route. When it came to plays that the running back is running to the other side, he wouldn't block. You half-ass on plays. I don't give a fuck what you do during the season. You got to play every down. If you are on the field, if you are one of those 11 people, you got to bring it. You're getting paid millions of dollars. Ever since he was ever since his second year, when he got his first contract, he's been getting paid at least $1 million a year. You mean tell me you can't block for an extra 4 seconds? You mean tell me you can't do that route knowing that you are Randy Moss and that they're gonna double team you? Like, that just lets the motherfucker know Moss ain't getting the ball. That nigga ain't even taking off up the field. And he wouldn't. I mean, regardless, he's an amazing player. Just like T.O., just like the other guy, Chad Ochocinco. But when you become a problem, damn near reliability, I mean...
But what was Chad's problem?
Chad's problem is that he don't work.
I seen him working on the field. I've never heard of anyone saying Chad doesn't put in time in practice. Chad is a terrible player on the field. I've never heard anybody say that. I've never seen Chad, play.
I've seen Chad half-ass. I've seen it.
I've never seen it.
I've
never heard anyone talk about, Chad, when it comes to problem players in the NFL, Chad Johnson's name never gets brung up. For this guy to just get cut like that is, in my opinion, bullshit.
Hey, it's bullshit, and then go to college, become a coach, and then rehire him, nigga.
I hope he does get rehired this season.
I hope he does, too, but not from the Dolphins, nigga. I guarantee. I guarantee. It's like a new suit from the Men's Warehouse. I guarantee it, dog. Ain't no way in hell. And speaking of the Patriots, I just want to put this out there. Bill Belichick is a cheater. Why does nobody care about the fact that Bill Belichick is a cheater? If he's a winner, then it's all right. It doesn't. He cheated. What the fuck? I don't want a lawyer who cheated on the bar to represent me. I don't want a doctor that cheated on his exam to do my surgery. What the fuck? You're not that great. You know what I mean? What the fuck? I'll be looking at my lawyer. You cheated on the bar, then you're not that great. Let me get another lawyer. What the fuck? He's a cheater. And Tom Brady is a decent quarterback, but he's a quarterback of the system. Put him on the Jaguars. Guaranteed they will not go to the playoffs. Put him on motherfucking, what's another garbage team? I would say put him on the Cardinals, but Larry Fitzgerald, that nigga, whew. You throw it on his side of the field, it ain't even for him, that nigga catch it. But, you know what I mean? Put him on a garbage ass team. Guaranteed he will go nowhere. Cam Newton is a better quarterback than him. Yes, TiVo is a better quarterback than him. I will say it, because guaranteed Tom Brady ain't almost any other team. There's only about 5 other teams where he will go and do the exact same. I guarantee you. There's only about 4 or 5 teams. If you're a legendary quarterback, just like how Peyton Manning is, like how Peyton Manning's about to come up in this bitch and destroy everybody from the AFC West. You know, if he was a Peyton Manning, I could say that. He could go anywhere. But that guy, he's the goat.
Well, before we get to the next topic, I want to welcome T back. He left for a minute. That's why you've only been here.
Because he already knew he was talking about that old cheating ass Belichick and that old garbage ass Tom Brady.
Yeah, because it's not really a topic to discuss.
I can't wait for Tom Brady to get hurt and they trade him to like the Bills or some shit. That's gonna be funny as fuck. You don't see Tom Brady it's gonna be like Tiger. What happened? He was so amazing when he was in. No, it wasn't him. It was the system.
Speaking of Tiger, have you guys seen a picture of his new chick?
I don't give a fuck, man. That's another thing. I'm tired of this reality bullshit going on, man. Reality ain't even real no more.
It's all scripted.
Yeah,
everything.
Really? Scripted reality?
It's a show for everything.
Dude, are you kidding me? I could have swore I saw something like Garbage Wars where these motherfuckers was like trashmen.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Competition with garbage picking.
Yes, like oh my goodness.
Competition with
The only show I am grateful for is Storage Wars, and that's because I had no clue that you could buy empty storages.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. But you do it here no more, matter of fact.
Yeah, I'm about to start doing that when I get some money. But I mean, the rest of that shit is really, there's a show about people getting tickets.
Meter maids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's stupid ass shit.
Oh my god, people, wake up.
Repoing. The repo is kind of funny sometimes.
Even if the Illuminati is completely fake, and they're not trying to like suck the life out of humanity. If they're really putting these shows out here because people like this shit, really, people, really.
Really,
honestly,
how many times can you watch a motherfucker? Oh my goodness! I mean, I thought the Antique Roadshow was boring when I was younger. Oh wow!
I had this conversation earlier, and I said I keep putting my faith in the fact that people aren't as stupid as they appear to be.
No, people
and I keep getting proven wrong each and every time. You got what? Bad Girls Club.
Oh. Goodness.
Real Housewives of New York, Mob Wives,
Hip Hop Wives,
Hip Hop, Loving Hip Hop Atlanta. For one, let me go back to Mob Wives. Really, if these bitches are in the mob telling mob business, wouldn't you think these bitches would have gotten shot by now?
Yeah, it shouldn't even be a show.
No point. There's no point to that show.
It shouldn't even be a show. The show should not exist. Period.
Big Brother.
That's what the world's going to be in another 25 years. There's going to be cameras in everybody's house.
Yep.
They're going to be like, excuse me, you're using too much toilet paper. You know you ain't got enough money for all that toilet paper you wasting out.
They even did a cops.
Like, dude, get out of my business, Uncle Sam. What the fuck? I gave you your money.
They even did a Cops spinoff. They did a spinoff to Cops.
What, jail?
Called Campus PD.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Like, come on. Now the ones that I did kind of like was like Man vs. Wild, you know, that type of shit. Because you actually learn
that's
shit.
That's actual reality.
You know,
that's some shit you can actually use.
Yeah, if you get caught in the cold, well, if you do this, you can survive. But the other shit, I don't get it. I don't get why people like it. I get why a certain demographic of people would like those shows, but not to the point where it's so popular. Like the stupid ass what was those love shows called? The Bachelor, The Bachelorette,
Change of Heart.
Change of Heart.
I ain't heard of that.
What was that dude with the clock? Flavor Flav.
Flavor of Love.
Flavor of Love. Like, why do? For one, you got the same guy on The Bachelor like twice, 2, 3, 4 times. Same bitch on The Bachelorette 3, 4 times. Flavor of Love had like how many different seasons? It was different bitches in the house. Like, really? You should know it's fake.
You know, one of the biggest things that like kind of aggravates me. Every time when I'm in jail, why is it that everybody always want to watch Cops? And they try to talk shit about, oh man, he dumb as hell right there. Look at me. If I was him, I would have.
If you was him, you wouldn't have done shit because you in jail.
Exactly. That's my thing. What are you talking about? You are in jail right now, so obviously they caught you. So how is it that you can talk about getting away when you actually did not get away? Literally, you did not, because you're in jail talking about how this person shouldn't be going to jail. Like, best thing I could say to that person is, if this is a live show, at least he's still free right now. You know what I mean? He's not in jail talking shit about. That is the dumbest thing I've ever. Oh my goodness! They always want to watch Cops or jail. Why do you want to watch other people in jail? Look around. Like, what the fuck? I'm trying to watch news.
Give me 1 second. Keep talking.
But I mean, it was like I'm trying to watch actual, important shit, and for some reason, motherfuckers don't want to watch nothing but that. That's freaking ridiculous. That's the best thing I can put it as is the hood mindset. How you gonna try to tell somebody something and you just did oh my goodness, that's the dumbest shit in the world. Nobody seems to feel me on that though. But I mean, to answer your question about the Chad Johnson bullshit, hey, he needs to figure out the fuck going on in his situation.
All right, well.
Shit. That felt good.
Anyways, we're gonna revert back to football for this next topic. A lot of players in the NFL this past week have come out talking about how Roger Goodell has too much power as the commissioner of the National Football League. A lot of it has to do with the whole Saints thing, with Jonathan Vilma getting suspended for a year. Honestly, actually, there's been reports that have been denied by the NFL that they offered Jonathan Vilma a deal instead of having him take them to court. They offered him a deal to cut his suspension in half, so it went from 16 games to 8 games, or the rest of the season, or the entire season, I'm sorry, down to 8 games. But the NFL's denied those claims. People have come out now complaining that Roger Goodell has too much power, that he just dropped the hammer because of the way he dropped the hammer on the Saints and other situations in the NFL where he's just dropped the hammer on people.
I think it's completely justified. If you're going to try to start a program to hurt other players, then you're supposed to be knocked out. Period. That's the same shit that what's her name did in the Olympics. Tanya Harding. Same shit she did. She tried to hit old girl in the leg with a crowbar so that she couldn't do her triple sow cow and beat her. Same shit. It's just cheating.
But at the same time, and I understand what you're saying, but the system that they're trying to crack down on, according to teams in the NFL, has been around for decades, generations.
What, trying to hurt people?
Not technically. They didn't get in trouble for trying to hurt people. Like, what they got in trouble for was the fact that they was putting a pool of money down and saying, okay, if you knock the quarterback out for the game, you get this pool of money. That's the same thing that's been going on in the NFL for generations. It hasn't been hurting people. It's been like, if you get an interception, you get this pool of money. That's what the NFL cracked on the Saints about. It just made it worse because they said they were, that the pool of money was for hurting people. Because honestly, I can go out, any player can go out and say, yeah, every time I go out in the game, I'm trying to hurt somebody. What can they do to him? Nothing. It's part of the game. As long as he's not out there literally, grabbing someone's arm and twisting it and shit like that, if he's just hitting people hard every time he hits them, the NFL really can't say shit to him about it, but it was because it was a pool of money. Now, where Jonathan Vilma comes in, is he's denying that he ever put any money in. The commissioner saying that Vilma was one of the people actually putting money into the pool to pay the players for injuring certain people, and Vilma saying he never did that. Vilma saying I never had anything to do with that, and if that's the case, you're saying that I did it, show me the evidence that you have against me, and the commissioner has not brought forth any evidence against him. It's kind of like what we was talking about earlier when it's you're guilty until proven innocent. Mm-hmm. Vilma's been proven is guilty now, and Vilma's saying, well, you want me to bring evidence, but you don't have any evidence against me that I ever committed a crime, that I ever did anything. If you have it, then show it to me, and this shit will be squashed. But yeah, no one's brung forth anything against Vilma.
How did they find out from this shit to begin with?
I guess it was an investigation sparked forth. Somebody, former players, I guess, came out and said something about it. And so a whole big old investigation was sent forth. But then at the same time, the hits that they talked about, you know, were like players, like they would, on ESPN, for like months, they would have like the players that they was targeting, like Kurt Warner, Brett Favre in the NFC Championship game when he played with the Vikings, and a couple other players. Excuse me, but all the hits that they showed were legal hits. Like Kurt Warner threw a pick down the field and went to tackle the guy with the ball, and he got clocked. He got clobbered. You know, what would you have done in that situation if you was the defensive player? You see the quarterback running to make a tackle, I'm about to hit him. About to hit him hard as hell. It was plays like that. Brett Favre drops back for a pass, he gets hit and sacked. You know, it wasn't like, you know, someone grabbed his face mask and yanked him to the ground or twisted his neck and, you know, shit like that.
It should have been.
Huh?
It should have been. But yeah, I'm gonna put that on the podcast too. I've met Brett Favre in person, and he's a dick. He's about as big of a dick as he is, as what he seems on TV. The whole move with, yeah, I'm gonna stay, and no, I'm leaving, and I'm coming back, and no, I'm leaving, and I'm coming back. Those dick moves that he did, that's just his personality. He's a dick. Anyway, so I put that out there. You're a dick, Brett.
But yeah.
Hey, Brett, you're a dick.
Anyways. You know, so what do you think about the whole... Do you think Roger Goodell has too much power?
I don't think he has too much power, but I do believe that Brett Favre is a dick.
Wow. Shouldn't even bring Brett Favre.
Punk ass Brett. Brett Favre. Alright. No, I don't think he got too much power. I think that motherfuckers should stop trying to get around the fucking rules. Like, I mean, not necessarily saying get around the rules, but, I mean, really, if you think about it, granted, that's your job, but, you know, that's somebody's, you know, son out there. You know, that's somebody's dad. And not only are you hurting him to win the game, but you could potentially be hurting him and ending his career. You know, no food for the kids, no... Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. But it's a lot of stipulations that go along with it. It's not just hurting the players so that they're not playing. Because, I mean, think about it. You got 16 games. The most you'll ever see anybody in a year is 3 times. So maybe 4 if you know, play somebody in the preseason or some shit like that. Like, the most you'll see anybody is 4 times in a season. Hurting them is really not going to help you unless it's that particular game. Because after that, you basically hurt them for everybody else that they play for however long it is that they're hurt. So the bounty itself doesn't even make sense. You know, the bounty should be, you should hurt somebody within the first, like, 2 quarters. Because, I mean, hell, do you still get the money if you hurt them in the last play of the game? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, the bounty doesn't make sense. But at the same time, you know, when I played football, when I played defense, I wanted to hit you as hard as possible every play. I wanted to hit you so hard that you thought twice about running the ball to me or catching the ball near me, or you seen me coming, you tried your damnedest to get away from me. You know, that's pretty much hurting somebody. So yeah, I played the game to hurt you. You know, that's just how that was the mentality I had on defense.
Yeah, but your coach wasn't talking about, all right, now if you hurt the quarterback, we're all going out for ice cream. You know, That's where the line is drawn. Same situation with the professionals. Like, you're a professional, but I mean, I don't know. I guess it works the same way in the business world, you know. But I mean, like, it's just like if you're a business executive, you're trying to close the deal, so you shoot your competition. You know, you shoot your competition in a leg or some dumb shit like that. Now they're going off to the hospital and you're going to steal the deal for $100. Like, I mean, granted, it'll work, but I mean, really, you know. I mean, because think about it. The Saints play 3 teams twice. So out of those 3 teams that they actually play, how often is it that they're going to hurt somebody for, you know, any significant amount of time? At least to the point where it's going to help their team.
But at the same point, if you got all 11 starters of the defense and then all the backups coming in the game with that same mentality of hitting hard, not hitting somebody and doing it illegal. I'm not saying doing illegal shit, you know. I'm saying hit somebody to hurt them, you know. Hit them, not even to knock them out of the game, but to, like I said, to put the fear in them of you, you know, of this defense, you know.
But you gotta realize that this is millionaires, and they talking about money. So it's going to be specific. It's not just going to be no, it looks like he's a little bit intimidated, so you win the pot. It's going to be actual out of the game for such amount of time. Then you get the pot.
I get that. I'm not saying that what they did was right necessarily, but couldn't you say the same thing for, you know, well, I'm putting money in a pot if whoever gets 2 interceptions in the game, you know, gets the money. I mean, when you put it that way, you saying, oh, they're putting money in the pot to hurt a player. It's like, well, you put money in a pot to get interceptions. Isn't that also as bad? Because if I just go, I want you to hurt this guy. I don't want you to do it illegally, but I want you to hit him every time he gets the ball. I want you to hit him and hurt him. You know, but I'm not going to pay you any more than you already get paid for it. No one's bitching and complaining about that. Coaches say that shit all the time. You know.
There's not that extra incentive to it, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's where they got in trouble for, was the money thing. It had nothing to do with hurting people.
Yeah, but the question was, does he have too much control? I would say no.
I would say
because you should be getting your ass spanked for that. Simply for the fact that you're supposed to be out there to hit people, not necessarily to hurt people. Like, that's not your main goal.
But here's where
to hurt people.
Here's where the control thing comes in. How can you accuse Jonathan Vilma of putting money in this pot? And then when Jonathan Vilma says, well, show me your evidence that I ever put money in this pot to pay these people, because right now there's pretty much he said, she said. Jonathan Vilma saying, I never did that. And Roger Goodell saying, you did do it, but yet Roger Goodell has the power to suspend you simply because he says that you did. But yet you have yet to show evidence that Jonathan Vilma ever did what you're accusing him of. The coach has never said that he did it. The coach that got suspended from like indefinitely, their defensive coach, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he got suspended from the league indefinitely. You know, Sean Payton, he's suspended for the season. He's never said Jonathan Vilma ever did anything like that. The other coach never said he did anything like that. The quarterback, Breeze, said, I didn't even know that the shit was going on like that. You know, so it's like, where's your evidence that Vilma ever did this? You suspended these other players for like 2, 3, 4 games, but yet you give Vilma an entire, the whole year without pay. You suspended him. And he's saying, well, damn, where's the justice in that? That's, in my opinion, that's too much power for you to be like, well, I'm not going to show you any evidence that you did this, but yeah, you're suspended for the whole year. I have the evidence, but I'm not going to put this on the table to show you that, yeah, this is my evidence against you, now battle that. No, just my word against yours. My word is law. You're suspended.
Hey, he's the boss. Pretty much. Same thing as with your job. I mean, you can get mad because they fire you,
but you always have someone that you can go that's above him, above your boss. Even in the NCAA, there's certain steps that you have to take before you just, okay, this team is completely.
Please, they took down what's the name statue so fucking quick.
That Penn State took that down. It wasn't the NCAA. The NCAA didn't say you have to remove the statue. Penn State just removed the statue because a bunch of people was complaining.
No, I'm just talking about just period. Before anybody was in court, before anything was said.
No, the court shit was already done.
No. I'm not even finished what I was gonna say. My biggest issue with that is taking away Joe Paterno's wins. Not even just saying, taking away his wins for him. But, I mean, I was watching ESPN.
They took away like 240 wins.
Yeah, but I mean, the biggest issue with that is, I mean, nothing had been said, period. It was just, at that point, it was still speculation. Not saying, that it was right or it was wrong. But at the time that they did that shit, it was strictly speculation. It was the little boys accusing him, and then it was. Matter of fact, they were still trying to find out.
Sandusky had already went to court for all that. They did the FBI investigated the shit, and they put out a report. All the shit that the penalties and stuff that Penn State's been levied that's been levied against Penn State is based off of this report done by the FBI. And the fact that whatever the dude's, however you pronounce his name, he's going to jail.
Yeah, but they was talking about taking them wins away before that shit even.
They was talking about what they could do to Penn State. The FBI report was already out. That's how. That's part of the reason why homeboy went to jail. Went to court. That FBI report was already out.
That he was raping the boys and then they arrested him? Really?
No. He got arrested first. The report, they investigated. This was still when it was just getting started. They hadn't talked about what they was going to do to Penn State yet. He had just been accused. And then more and more people started coming out. The report then came out against him and Penn State and Paterno, and then they, during that time, they was talking about, well, what are they going to do to Penn State? And this is what could happen. They could, I can't remember, give the program the death sentence, which is they shut the program down for any X number amount of years, which is pretty much what they did, without giving them the complete death penalty because they can still play, but they just can't be part of the Big Ten championship or any bowl games.
It had nothing to do with what I was going to say. My biggest issue is how can you take those games away? The games, I mean, even though he was the head coach, you can take those games away from him as far as his record, but how can you take those games away from the school? Like the school itself. I mean, and what I was going to say before you so rudely interrupted was one of the players said something. He was like, I played from like 2002 to 2006, and none of his games matter. And there's if you go from the beginning to the end of all the games that they eliminated, there's 2 full classes of kids. I'm talking about from freshman to senior, and then the next year that freshman to senior, just full 8 years that. All of those games don't matter. All of those kids went to the school for no reason. They had nothing to do with anything that happened. They wasn't touching any little boys. They wasn't hiding or keeping any secrets or no shit like that. They're playing their games, and 3-4 years out of them being, out of college, they come to find out that none of those games even mattered. You know what I mean? That's the biggest injustice is all the victims and things of that nature. You can take them wins away from the coach, but why take the wins away from the thing? I guess you can't do one without the other, but at the same time, that should have motherfuckers in fear about going to school for years to come. Because you could be 80 years old and they could find out that your coach was a pervert, and everything that you've done from that time was completely worthless. You won the Heisman and all types of other crazy shit. It's not like it's the first
time it's happened.
Yeah, it's the first time it's happened.
No, it happened to USC.
The little boy got touched at USC?
No, I'm talking about it happened to USC where that whole shit with what's that running back? Reggie Bush. They took away his Heisman. They took away wins from the school. They took away scholarships. Another school got deducted a national championship and bowl games, wins, and shit like that. That's not the first time it's happened.
That's stupid.
And besides this situation that you're talking about, where they just took the FBI report and the top guy, the NCAA president, made a decision on it. All those other times they went from they had to investigate, then the school investigated, then they did this, and then they did that, and then it all piled up, and then they presented evidence against what happened, and boom, this is what happened, this is what we have, this is what you did. Now here's your side. You present your side of the argument, before they did anything. Even with USC, I think Ohio State, LSU got in trouble. That's how the NCAA does it. It's the actual system. It's not just, well, I'm the president, I say that you did this, and so I'm deducting all of this from you. Where that's what Roger Goodell pretty much did to
That's a job, though. There's a difference. If you get fired from your job, you can have one person say that you're fired and that's it. But there's not too often that you get expelled from school and one person does that. You know what I mean? Even though you might go to the principal's office and he'll say that you're expelled, it's going to take a lot more than just that one person.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you get fired from your job unjustly, you sue, right?
Yeah, if you can prove that it was unjust.
That's what he's doing. And at the same time, it's a business. It's not just, oh, well, I'm the head of everything. The owners have a say in everything too. The owners voted the guy in.
I mean, but still, that's like saying the restaurant manager, the Cook family, and the franchise owner. The Roger Goodell will be, the Cook family of McDonald's. And then, your owners would be like the franchise, and then the coach or GMs would be the managers and shit like that. And I'm pretty sure that you could, say something as far as being a personnel on the cash register. But I mean, at the same time, it's a job. If they found you fucking on the fries, they caught you fucking. Now, if they caught you, but they won't give you the evidence, you might have to talk to your lawyers and try to get things situated. But if you're not going to bring lawyers into it, there's no point in talking shit, because there's nothing that you can do. You can talk as much as you want to, but until you get legal action into it, you're not going to be able to do nothing.
Well, he is doing legal action. But take a corporation. Just because you're the top guy doesn't mean that you make an instantaneous decision. You can't just go, well, I fire this person, and that's it. People are going to look at you like, well, this is such and such, and he has good numbers.
They do that shit all the time, and there's actually a method to where they do that shit. And one of the methods is basically they put you on a whole new project, something that you ain't too familiar with doing, so that they can build up, bad work history, and then they'll fire you. And then granted, Roger Goodell can't do that with the Saints players because he can't control the Saints players. But the way he can control them is by keeping them from playing.
Even baseball GM doesn't have that much damn power. And that's a bigger business than football.
I don't see how.
He doesn't. Like I said, it was all voted. It's all part of the players' agreement. In baseball, they were smart about it. That's the only fault that I see where I look at it is like, well, technically the players brought it on themselves. Had they continued to hold out and asked to take away some of the power that he has, eventually they either would have had to bring in a bunch of new people and probably would have lost some money doing it, or they would have had to give in. That's how baseball went over. He doesn't have all the power. He can't just go, oh, well, this is what I see fit. No, he has to go through a chain, where, okay, I want to add, 2 games to the end of the season. I want to add a wild card to the end of the season. Who agrees? Well, I don't, or I don't. Then he can't put that into play. Whereas Roger Goodell can say, I'm moving the kickoff from the 50-yard line to the 30. And it happens. It's not like that in every sports organization, just football. Pretty much. Even basketball's not like that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our podcast for tonight. I guess Don's getting out of here. There was like 1 or 2 more subjects I wanted to get on, but I guess we'll have to say that for next week if we do another one, I guess.
Yeah.
Still have no idea what we're gonna call it, but I'll probably come up with a name before I put it on YouTube. But I'm Justin. This is Don. You got like a Twitter account or Facebook?
No, I don't. This is the Don in your ear. Or is the O in your ear? Can I get one?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Alright, signing off. Stay black.
Adios.